I am so thankful that this product came to the United States.
Magnestine Essence saved my life.
The benefit is that I've got my wife back.
The swelling and inflammation in my knees has gone down, and just the pain level in general has definitely gone down.
I had more energy than I knew what to do with.
This is my life, and I love it.
If the immune system's out of whack, off balance, you're going to see diseases.
When I was 16, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis.
I had chronic dry mouth, which runs through my family.
Problems with lupus. I've also been a diabetic my whole life.
He just started getting these really big sores on the back of his head.
I had bronchitis. I had problems with my stomach, problem with my heart.
Along with my lupus, I had Sjogren's disease, Raynaud's disease, peripheral artery disease, atherosclerosis.
One of the things that I really loved to do was play soccer. I had to quit playing soccer. I couldn't even run.
Sjogren's and celiac and Raynaud's, fibromyalgia, and I've had strokes.
My mom and I actually traveled to places as far away as Mexico and India to pursue alternative treatments, and I didn't find anything that significantly helped.
I was so sick that my family didn't let me do anything.
I'm tired. I'm tired of the pain, tired of not being able to have a life.
We are constantly bombarded with disease, pain, dysfunction, distress, injuries, disabilities, disorders, syndromes, infections, and the list goes on and on. Nutrition is crucial to our health, especially in a fast-paced world that is full of unhealthy foods. Many of today's medications, supplements, and superfoods target the boosting of our immune systems. But what if there existed a product backed by decades of scientific study and research that could reach the essence of true healing and pure health? From distinct growing regions and scientific laboratories of Thailand comes the most relevant and life-changing product of the 21st century. Produced by a leading team of world-class research and medical scientists led by Dr. Pache, MyLife Mangosteen Essence with GM1 in a therapeutic and certified standard synergistic blend of phytonutrients combined with a patent-pending scientific discovery is your direct path to balancing your immune system.
Interleukin-1 and interleukin-2, these are parts of our immune system that, when in balance, our immune system is able to operate and function very effectively. In all my 30 years as a practicing physician, I've never known of a product or a pharmaceutical or nutraceutical that has the ability to restore balance to the immune system. There are definitely medications that do affect either the interleukin-1 or the interleukin-2, but there's no medication that I know of that will bring balance to the interleukin-1 and 2. With over 30 years of research, MyLife scientists have been able to isolate the best active ingredients and compounds out of the mangosteen fruit that, when ingested into our bodies, there's a synergistic reaction that results in the balancing of the interleukin-1 and the interleukin-2 and therefore our immune system. This is the first and only product that I'm aware of that's on the market that will restore balance to our immune system.
What MyLife Products International has discovered is changing the way we all think about our immune system and its power to heal.
On a recent business trip to Bangkok, Thailand, I was introduced to Dr. Pache by a business associate of mine. After that interview that he set up for us, I knew that what he had was revolutionary. I personally saw a number of people in Southeast Asia that had had dramatic benefits from this product. And after seeing that with my own eyes, I knew I had to bring this to the United States for my own family and friends and for the many people over here that suffer from the same ailments that they have over there.
I didn't have to take ibuprofen on top of my prescription drugs, and I've definitely noticed that the swelling and inflammation in my knees has gone down. I can actually see some of the bone structure, whereas before it was really just like a pillow. And just the pain level in general has definitely gone down.
I noticed that my mouth wasn't dry.
We've been able to go doing a little bit of dancing. We've been able to walk in the evenings.
Yeah.
I've been able to start riding my bike, and I can even go to the grocery store and make it through the store. I've been able to do more with my granddaughter.
Not only has it helped her, but you see that ripple effect where other lives are touched as well.
It took, I would say within the first week, we could notice a significant difference. And now, I mean, there's just no sign of it. He's just a happy, squirmy, great little guy.
And it was also on his face. The sores were on his head. That he had skin stuff on his face, and it's all cleared.
People around her that have seen her some years back, I see her now, they go, golly, what happened to you? What happened to you, you know?
By the end of a month, I was so much better. My pain had gone away. I had more energy than I knew what to do with. But I was on 9 medications, and I've cut down to 3 medications. Instead of taking them twice a day, I only take them once a day. Now I have no side effects, and I'm just whizzing around doing things probably that I shouldn't be doing, but oh well, I feel great.
Within 3 days, I had more energy. I also am able to do the work that I used to do. In fact, I pick berries every day this week, and I can take care of my house. I even mowed my lawn a couple times.
I didn't know if I'd make it to another birthday. I really didn't, because I very easily, my life could have been gone. And now I have my life back.
Finally, MyLife gave me those tools, and he's just as happy, and still to this day, he has some every day.
I am thankful for my life.
I am now able to enjoy my life.
I have a life because of my life.
We have a life now together because of MyLife.
Our life with MyLife has given us a life together, and you can't beat that any way you look at it.
Amen.
This is my passion, to bring this product to the people of the United States. Welcome to MyLife.
Board certified in family medicine and in integrative holistic medicine. And I've been a doctor for 30 years. The way I learned out about MyLife was a friend of mine from childhood invited me to come and check out a product that he was finding interesting, and I came, and the founder, Dwayne Wilson, presented to me his experience of it in overseas, and showed me photographs of tumors shrinking and the major benefit of all the people over there, and I just felt that I wanted to get involved. So I got involved. I tried the product on my own self, on my wife, and on my patients, and the benefit that I felt on my own physical body, I could tell that this was something very beneficial, and that I wanted to be able to have it all the time the rest of my life, so I don't want this product to go away. And I liked it for my patients that had chronic headaches. They went away with the use of the product. Multiple different benefits. People with aches and pains, people with fibromyalgia, significant benefit from the product. Rex is a doctor friend of mine who has used it on his patients. He's tried it on some patients who are that have had lowered cholesterol. He had a personal problem with the acid reflux, which is inflammation. Acid reflux also can be a problem from inflammation. Not always, but it can be. And anyway, he got some relief from the product for that, and that's one of the things that tipped him over the scale, because he didn't even want to hear it from his dad initially, but later he was willing to try. He talked him into trying it, and when he tried it himself and saw the benefit, he opened up his mind. I have arthritis and basically inflammation in my body from food that I eat. And I can tell when I eat certain foods, I have more aches and pains. And when I eat other foods, I have less aches and pains. And so it's definitely inflammation in my system that affects my joints from the food that I eat. And when I drink MyLife Health Drink, it decreases the inflammation. It balances my immune system so it's not attacking my joints. And it's getting rid of toxins. I believe that it's getting rid of toxins out of my system. My diet isn't always perfect. Sometimes I eat
a Cinnabon roll because it tastes good, and even though I know it's not good for me, and I know my body's going to ache afterwards, and I'm going to get this little sleepy feeling afterwards. And so anyway, but if I drink a MyLife health drink, it kind of covers up, it calms my immune system down that Cinnabon thing triggered up on me. And so, but anyway, I try to drink personally. I try to drink at least a half a bottle every day. Sometimes if I missed, then I try to drink a bottle every day. I tell my patients to try to drink at least a couple ounces twice a day. Well, I know that on the Garcinia, the recommended dose if you're trying to treat somebody who's got a major or significant problem is 3 capsules 3 times a day. It's kind of a lot of pills. But that in the protocol for that cancer study that they did, that Rex was involved with, that was the protocol, I believe, was they would take 3 pills 3 times a day. And then for the drink, the more you take, the more benefit you get. Because I think personally, a bottle of that stuff every day would be very beneficial. But not everybody can afford a bottle every day. So then they say, well, at least take 2 ounces, twice a day or something like that. That will then benefit. That will bring some benefit that you should be able to notice over a period of time. I noticed benefit within 1 to 2 days. If I forget and I haven't taken it, I went on a trip or something, I didn't bring it with me, and I can feel my aches and pains more, well then when I get home and I start drinking my drink, within 1 to 2 days I can feel my aches and pains subsiding. It's absorbed a little better if you take it on an empty stomach. And so, I mean, it's absorbed fine if you take it with a meal, but it's, I think, absorbed slightly better if it's on an empty stomach. So like some people, first thing when they get up in the morning, if they drink a big old swig of it, and then maybe in the evening or afternoon, sometimes I'll have it in the afternoon if I'm needing a little pick-me-up or something, I'll drink a swig of it at my office. In my mind, I don't put mangosteen essence in the same category as the other antioxidant juices that are marketed out there, that I've personally used myself. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel the same benefit from those when I've used them as when I use the mangosteen essence. There's something totally different that I get. And what it is the effect that it's having on my immune system. With the mangosteen essence is something unique in that it works on your immune system in a really powerful, healthy way that I don't think there's anything really out there like that. And these antioxidant juice drinks, they're good and they're beneficial, but they're not doing what mangosteen essence does. It's really in a different category. It's not the same. It's apples and oranges. It's not, even though it's mangosteen and mangosteen possibly, there's something quite different about the mangosteen essence. I'm just real happy with it in my practice and in my own personal life, and I'm just grateful that you've made the product available.
And that's how I found out when they did the pap test. It's endometrial, very aggressive endometrial. The doctor told Glenn, he said, it's as bad as it gets. He said, at stage 4, it's as bad as it gets. The pictures that the doctor showed us after my surgery, it looked like cottage cheese splattered all through the whole abdomen there. There just wasn't a lot we could do. Chemo, they said chemotherapy. However, they also mentioned that that wasn't much hope, but that it would give me a little more time, but it would not get better, just a little more time. And they gave me a year, and both doctors told me that.
Pain. The surgery on the lymph system, it was just a biopsy, but it created a leak. That formed a lymphocele, which created a balloon, which cut off the circulation from her leg, which created swelling in her leg. and blood clots in both legs. With the painkillers and the blood thinners and the weakness and everything else that was going on, just concentrating on survival.
Dr. Meharry, yes, got in touch with Dwayne and told him to get in touch with me with his product, yeah, MyLife product. And that's so we came down, talked to Dwayne, and that's how we got started. So I decided to do chemo and the MyLife product.
When I asked him about the alternative products, the doctor was very cautious. He said, I wouldn't take your hope away, but it won't help.
But it did.
But it did.
And then I had chemo for about 4.5 months. I first started taking the MyLife. I took a bottle a day, half in the morning and half in the evening, and I was taking nine pills a day. And now I'm taking half a bottle, half in the morning, half in the evening, with 2 pills a day.
The cancer markers, however you describe it, said when, at the time they did the surgery, the numbers were 70. I asked him what normal was, and he said 30. Meaning just a couple months ago. They said it was down to 6. And at that point, my wife didn't remember the conversation I had with the doctor before about 70, 30, and 10. And she asked him again what normal was, and he said 30. She asked him she said, well, I assume that 6 is pretty good. And he said, the tests are not quite that definitive. When I say 6, you think 0.
I'm doing fine now. I just feel wonderful. I went to the doctor. I had another CAT scan a week ago yesterday, and or Monday, and I'm in remission now.
1 year is almost over, and she's in better shape now than she was, I believe, before this all started.
I saw my oncologist yesterday, and he said, well, this is a wonderful Christmas present. And I said, yes, it's the best present I've ever had.
I was born with Sjogren's disease. Have had a hard time swallowing and such. Dwayne knew me well enough to know that, I don't try just anything. I usually say no. Anyway, so out of everybody in the room, and nobody else had even tried it yet. I mean, this was new, and it was the first group in there. And he comes over, shakes it up, pours me some, and he says, try it. And I go, I don't want to. Because I was afraid that I'd throw up in front of everybody. And I noticed after just taking just a little swallow, probably not even a full ounce because I was tasting it for the first time, I noticed after that I didn't need to chew my gum so that I could swallow. When MyLife first came, my husband was living in Utah because we had our own house here, and I have 4 teens, and so we had our own life. But he's a computer programmer and a contractor, and they were the first to go because you usually pay him more. And so we were hurting, so we went to Utah. During the week, this guy, he had arthritis. He was a programmer too, to where he could hardly even type. And he had, is it stage 3 diabetes? Anyway, the really bad one, where he couldn't even take a swallow of orange juice, or he'd be up for all night and the next day and just sick. And Scott gave him a bottle, 1 bottle of MyLife. And after that, he thought, well, wow, I can bend my hands. I haven't done that for years. And so he figured, I'll give it a good try. He drank a whole cup of orange juice, enjoyed it so much he drank a second cup, slept all night, no problems. Anyway, he's on it, and he notices that when he misses it, he has problems with his diabetes. That one bottle, and he took it all in one day, and he didn't use insulin for a week. I was talking to my mom, and I said, you look horrible. What's going on? She also had a couple of stents in her heart, a triple bypass, and then another surgery. And she said, well, Saturday I went to copy off the bulletin because they walk out their back door and across the road is the church. I mean, they just right there. Anyway, and so she was going to print off the bulletin, and she got so shaky and sick with her heart. Her heart was hurting her, and she had to lay right there. My dad couldn't even get her across the road home. She laid on the ground in the church for a while until he could get her home because of her heart. It was racing, and then the next morning they go out to go to church. She makes it to the back door and her heart's racing so bad she can't get a breath. And she looks white as a ghost, so she just lays down again. And this was Sunday night, and I'm going, look, horrible. She's going, yeah, and I have to work tomorrow. And I didn't say anything about the product or anything because it was new and I had the case and it was going to my sister, you know. Anyway, and so I call up my husband on the way home, and because he's driving to Utah, and so I was telling him about my mom, and he said, sounds like she needs it more than your sister. So the next morning, because she lives in Caldwell and I live in Meridian, but she is the head cook for a school in Meridian. Anyway, and so I said, can I meet you at your school before you leave? And so I took her some. I opened up a bottle, and just in those little containers that they have to put like ketchup or something in. Anyway, I got one of those, poured some in, she took a swallow. And at this point, she could only take one step and pause for about 30 seconds to a minute, or she was going to fall over because of all of her heart problems. And she looked horrible. And everybody was telling her how horrible she looked. So at 1 o'clock, as she's getting off work, I give her that little dose. And she stood there for a minute, and then she was able to walk the whole way to her car without stopping. Whereas before she'd take just move one foot and have to pause. And then she took 2 ounces that night, and she went back to school the next day, worked all day just fine, and everybody was, you look so good, because the day before she looked like she was going to die. But everybody was, wow, you look so good today. What did you do? And it was probably a total of 3 ounces. With my dad, because after my mom tried it, and it made such an effect with her, she's going, well, look at your dad and his back. And my dad had melanoma, pretty bad. For a while, he would just come home from work and just lay down on the floor. He couldn't do any more. And so with that, she tried some on him. And after about a month, she showed me. She had him lift up the back of his shirt and she would scratch his back. And the little melanoma spots would just fall off. And what I thought was really gross was they weren't just the spots falling off. You could take it, and there was a string wound around inside. You could pull it out, and that was the cancer, and it went from the stem. It took it all instead of just the outside that you see. And so with that, that's quite amazing. Then I have my kids take it maybe once a week is all I can force them to. because they don't need it, they say, but they haven't been sick. So I've seen a lot of good from it, and I think that it's just a great product, and I love MyLife.
I know there's something out there that can heal us naturally. People weren't this way before, so I wanted to find something that worked, and I wasn't going to stop doing that either. I just kept looking. I didn't give up. It's like that journey for that goal. You know it's there. You won't give up. You spend all your money to find it and search for it, because you know eventually you're going to find it. Noni juice. That was the first one. Okay, some guy signed me up in it. I'm doing okay, but I was still hurting. My knees were still hurting. Okay. I did the Monavi. It didn't work. I'm like this. I just kept taking my noni juice, and then there's another one, juice. I tried the juice. I didn't like it that much. And then MyLife came into MyLife. You know how many things I've tried, right? I've tried a lot of things. Now I'm like, man, okay, all right. I'll try your stuff, because Cliff is a good friend of mine, and we do things together. I said, I'll do that. I tried the product. That was all it took. The first 2 days, I could walk up my steps without, holding on to the rail. That's the first part. And my knuckles, my hands up in here, they hurt. It will hurt. Especially when I get, you get cramps and they tighten up, and I don't know if you do that, and I have that, and since I've been on the product, it's been gone. And then I kept on it for like 6-7 months. I said, this can't be true. And then I said, well, maybe it's a fluke. So I stopped taking it. And man, that's the worst thing I've ever done. My knees started to hurt me, because of my job, I'm on my feet all day long. And then I stopped taking. I'm like, man, and my knees started hurting. I said, okay. I said, give me all of them. So I took the pills, and the juice was good too. So I do both. I started a juice and the pills. I'm good. I've been on the product for 1.5 years, and I'm loving it. And I can exercise more. I'm not afraid to exercise because my knees don't hurt and my fingers don't hurt. So when your joints don't hurt, you want to do more. You want to move and groove. You want to get moving. I'm riding a bike every morning now. I ride 30 minutes. I do 300 sit-ups. I'm up to about 40 push-ups. So, and I feel, I'm 54, not too bad, right? And, I'm not 100%, but you know what? I'm 95.7. I can walk, I can ride the bike. I'm not going to play basketball again, but at least I can do things. At least I can have a life. And that's what it gave me. It gave me my life back. I love the product. I wouldn't leave home without it, because this stuff is the best. It's awesome. 10 powerful words. I want you to remember these. If it is to be, it is up to me. Say that every day and watch how it changes your life. You'll find more gold in what you want to find and what you need in your life. You'll be a golden person. It's not up to the person next door. It's not up to my wife. Not to my downline or my upline. I know how it works. It's up to you. You make the difference. Don't let nobody stop you but you. If you stop yourself, then that's what it's all about. Don't make any excuses. Then I can do whatever I put my mind to. Yeah. So, okay, MyLife. As I moved MyLife in my hand, I took it out my drawer because I knew I can. Then I put it in my mouth, and man, all things started to sprout. My knees started to move, and I was in the groove. I could walk up steps, like stepping left and right. I wanted to play basketball, but I was afraid because it was at night. But you know what? The juice was so smooth and sweet inside. Oh man, when I was on my bike, man, it just gave me a slide. I'm sliding left and right. Man, new life is my kind of fight. I love the product. I wouldn't leave home without it.
restaurant eating, and the waitress came up and started talking about how her wrists started feeling better and this and that. And so I said, she started talking about her husband is selling this product, you know. And I said, well, give me his phone number and I'll call him, and which I did. And he invited me to a meeting, and I came to this meeting because I was having lower back problems. Every morning I'd wake up, my lower back would feel hot and tight and sore. And the first movement when I wake up in the mornings, I would actually cry with pain because that first movement I'd be in that pain. And I came to the meeting, you know, not always leery about these products, you know, but I'm always interested. But I ended up winning a six-pack that night. I don't know if that was planned or not, but I won a six-pack. Well, as I was leaving, I opened up a 10-ounce bottle of this essence, and I drank it down within less than 15 minutes. And I didn't think nothing of it after that. Well, the next morning when I woke up, my first instinct right away, I was thinking, wow, my back feels unusually strong today. And I was telling you, before I was introduced to the product, I was on an inversion table 3 times a day because the muscles in the back always felt like they were too short. They were always tight. So I was on this inversion table 3 times a day. But ever since that morning I woke up after taking that one bottle, I have not been on that inversion table since. And it just helps my back muscles stay in check. You know, but 11 years ago, I broke the ball off my femur. And, you know, they screwed it back on, it healed. But it's been 11 years, and I've talked to doctors and nurses saying, oh, 11 years, you're about due for a replacement. It's to a point now where if I carry 100 pounds at 10 feet, I'm shot for the day. But I take the product, and it keeps, I believe it keeps that inflammation down, and it keeps that pain away. So I won't live without this product because there's so much pain relief for me. My mother lives a few states away, and I called her one day, and she sounded really bad, and I said, well, what's going on? You don't feel so good. Well, I've had this cold for 5 weeks, and I can't kick it. I said, well, this is what you do. And so I sent her a 6-pack of the essence. But in 3 days, with her taking 1 ounce a day, her voice started getting better, and she lost that cough that she was having. I called her back 5 days from the day she started her product. She was feeling so much better. Her cough was already gone. And I said, well, what are you doing today? Well, I was outside shoveling the sidewalk. And I said, what? And she said she shoveled 40 feet of sidewalk, and it was 13 below that day, too. And she's 80 years old. So she's been on the product ever since, too. I've been taking this product for a 1.5 years at least. I have not been sick one day in this period. And I actually will not go a day without it. I can't live without this stuff. If I'm not on this product, I'm starting to worry about, I can't work no more. What am I going to do? I'm going to start losing what I've accomplished all these years. And MyLife is keeping me going in life.